There's no happier moment in the life cycle than when a child is born. And there is probably no sadder moment in the life cycle than when a person loses a close relative. Interestingly, there is a halacha that is shared by both of these events. The beginning of our parasha, Parashat Tazria, the Torah tells us that after a woman gives birth, she takes on the status of a nida, which means that she becomes ritually impure. Back in the times of the Beis HaMikdash, it meant that she could not have any physical contact with anything that would go into the Beis HaMikdash. She could not go to the Beis HaMikdash herself, and she could not have any physical contact with her husband, which, of course, practically speaking for us, is a halacha that applies today. Husband and wife cannot have any physical contact whatsoever immediately after a wife gives birth until she goes through the purification process, culminating in her going into the mikveh. This, of course, is the same on a monthly basis after a woman gets her period. Husband and wife have a period of separation where they cannot be together on a physical level, and during that time, there's a great stress on other aspects and other elements of the marriage. When a person loses a relative, if it is a woman who loses a relative, she may not be together physically with her husband, she may not touch her husband in any physical way. And if it is a man who loses a relative, he too cannot be in touch in any physical way with his spouse. It's interesting to note that here at such intense emotional moments, HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not allow us to have any physical contact with our spouses. How do we make sense of that in a world where we're so touchy and feely? In a world where we need to hold someone's hand, or give someone a hug, or give someone a kiss on the cheek? The answer is that the Gemara tells us the reason why HaKadosh Baruch Hu HaKadosh Baruch Hu established the concept of nida is that a husband and wife don't become bored of each other, and that there is more to life and more to marriage than simply the physical. There is also an essential component that makes a marriage a great marriage, and that brings the concept of ahava, of love between husband and wife, and that is the concept of communication and emotional connection. If a man and a woman are able to be at home and only have physical contact and not speak with each other, and not talk with each other about the past, the present, and the future on a regular basis, it is impossible for their marriage to sustain in a healthy way. And so HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying to us, you can do it. At a moment of intense joy and in a moment of intense pain, realize that the physical, of course, while it is an essential component of marriage, it's a relatively easy way to express oneself. While in marriage, what we need in order to strengthen ourselves is to go a little bit of the difficult path, which is to learn to communicate and to express our feelings in order to connect emotionally to our spouses, in order to share joyous and happy moments, not simply by being physical, but also by expressing what our heart feels, and by being able to comfort our spouses during times of sadness by not simply giving them a hug, but instead by being able to share how our heart feels for them and allowing our words to touch their heart. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God in His infinite wisdom, decided that husband and wife need a period away from each other on a physical level in order to teach us just how important the emotional connection is in order for a marriage to be sustained and to grow over the course of years. May we be zochem, may we merit that we take the gift of Taras and Mishpacha, family purity, and we look at it as a gift, that we strengthen our communication and our emotional bond with our spouses so that our marriages grow every single day of our lives. Thank you for listening, and have a good Shabbos.